Before we start, I want you to picture a pharaoh. Close your eyes if you want. You have an image in your head right now. I guarantee it. And I guarantee it looks nothing like what I'm about to show you. For nearly 100 years, the most powerful rulers of ancient Egypt were black African kings from the south. And you were never taught their names. Ancient Egypt gets more attention than almost any civilization in history. Documentaries, movies, museum wings, school curricula. We are absolutely obsessed with it. And we should be. It was extraordinary. But that obsession has a blind spot so big you could fit an entire empire inside it. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Egypt and Nubia weren't two separate worlds. They were two ends of the same river. And for a long time, Egypt was the more powerful end. But around 750 BC, that changed. His name was Piankhi. He was the king of Kush, a Nubian kingdom based in what is now Sudan. And in 747 BC, he marched north with his army and did something no one expected. He unified all of Egypt under his rule, not by destroying it, by restoring it. Piankhi wasn't trying to replace Egypt. He was trying to save it. He was so devoted to Egyptian religion that when the local kings offered him tribute, he refused to meet them in person because they ate meat and were ritually unclean by his standards. He was, in his own mind, more Egyptian than the Egyptians. If Piankhi opened the door, Taharqa walked through it and built a palace on the other side. He ruled for 26 years. He was mentioned in the Bible. He built more monuments than any pharaoh in 200 years. He faced down the Assyrian Empire, one of the most brutal military machines the ancient world had ever produced. And almost no one alive today knows his name. Here's what nobody says out loud. Taharqa held off the Assyrian Empire, the most feared military force of the ancient world, for years. He didn't lose because he was weak. He lost because Assyria was one of the most relentlessly violent expansionist powers in history, and they eventually overran everything in their path, including kingdoms far more established than his. So why don't you know this story? It's not because the evidence disappeared. The artifacts exist. The inscriptions exist. The pyramids are still standing. The reason you don't know this story is because for most of the last 200 years, the people writing history didn't want you to. When the 25th dynasty ended in Egypt, Kush didn't collapse. It retreated south, rebuilt, and kept going for another 1,000 years. The kingdom of Kush and its successor state Meroe became one of the longest-lasting civilizations in African history. The next time someone uses Egypt as the beginning and end of ancient African achievement, remember that the kings who once sat on Egypt's throne went home and built 200 more pyramids. The story doesn't end where they told you it ended. They taught you Egypt. They skipped the rest. But the rest is where it gets interesting, because the kingdoms, the emperors, the warriors, and the scholars that come after this episode make the 25th dynasty look like a footnote. If this is the kind of history you've been looking for, subscribe. We're just getting started. Kindly like this video and subscribe to Forgotten History.